Hi guys.
The candles are lit. The incense is burning. My sketch is just here. I shall adorn myself. This is, in fact, a ritual beginning. Far more intense than we're used to. So I thought I'd raise some energy with the drum. You will be seeing that drum again. You'll be hearing that drum again. You'll hear the intensity, feel the intensity, and whew, let's just bring it down a notch for myself here, because my energy, my adrenaline is at about a 9.5. But welcome to everyone who has been waiting. I had a minor technical issue. I had to reboot my modem, and that's why we're a little tiny bit late. And also we were just exchanging information and ideas about how today is going to transpire, because we want it to flow beautifully. So I'm here with beautiful Anna, as per usual. Anna.
Hello, hello. We made it. We're just a little bit late this time.
Just a smidge. What can you do? Oh, gosh, so many people already. Exciting.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Elise. Hi, Norris Pagan Witch. Everybody's there.
It's exciting. Okay, so today is the big one. The energy is high because it is the big one. I will be launching pre-orders on my Etsy store in the middle of this live broadcast. Before that, we are going to go through the cards that have been created thus far. We're going to be sharing information about the cards, information about the sketches, particularly for those who are interested in the limited edition option of deck with sketch. So you're going to hear a little bit about that. And then we are going to, together as a community, as we usually do, hi sister, as we usually do, we are going to decide exactly which suit we are going to work on next. But before that, we will be showing the revealing of the, how many cards do we have to reveal? Like 4?
We have two that they already know that were posted on the Facebook page. So the Hangman and the Wheel of Fortune, and then we have 2 more that we did that they don't know at all.
Yeah. And so the Major Arcana, for those who want to know, is in fact completely envisioned. We have the last remaining 2 cards already set up, you know, for work to be done on them. So we know exactly what's going on there. There's no extra elements that need to be added. It's simply just the artistic process now that needs to unfold. But we have been, we've both been on a little bit of a break, and we've been taking our time to make sure that nothing is rushed, that everything is done to absolute perfection. And for those who don't know, Anna is a perfectionist, and she likes her art to be absolutely like tight. Like it's tight. It's tight like Toiga.
On the floor.
We were just going over the initial Hierophant card, which we are going to show you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about you know, how we've come about to this point so far, and then show you. We're just going to start showing you all of the images to refresh it in your mind, so you can see those big pictures. And I know that you guys have seen it, you know, online, but it's one thing to see it online, and it's quite another to see the artist holding that actual picture up high going, this is it, like this is the size of it, and it's going to end up being this size, you know what I mean? So it's quite a magnificent occasion. Oh my gosh. So we have 102 people watching at this very moment in time, and let's hope that we we can get it all together. Okay, we can try and get it all together. So we are running a smidge bit late, so halfway through, probably about 12:15 my time, so about half an hour to 45 minutes that that gate for Etsy is going to be open.
I'm sorry, I'm like reading all the
I can't keep up. They're going so fast.
To cut to get one. It's like at least I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so how about we start off with talking a little bit about how the deck is going to be, and then we're going to show the images, okay? So first of all, I just wanted to say that I have had a little bit of a printer, not a little bit of a printer. I've had a printer, an offshore printer set up, you know, contact with, etc., exchange ideas, you know, about a year ago now. So this has been a project that's been developing over almost 2 years, almost. You know, when I first put my call out there, it was Imolk here in Australia, and or something along those lines. It had something to do with Bridget of Chaldea. Anyway, so I'm just assuming it was either, it was Imolk. So it's been a long time, and Anna and I have been working very slowly until I really understood exactly how I wanted to develop it. And so here we are now. The printer that I had organized, I had, you know, I was nervous. I was a bit nervous because they are based in China, and I wanted to know that they've printed beautiful products before, and I also wanted to know that they were trustworthy. And so it's, you know, I've been a bit anxious about that, even though I've had really good communication with them despite a bit of a language barrier. You know, they've been wonderful, but yeah, this morning it was actually Chris Ann Donnelly, the creator of the Sacred Creators Oracle, confirmed that she in fact used the same printer and she had a wonderful experience with them. So I am really, really relieved about that, because that was one of those situations where I couldn't quite anticipate exactly what would happen. And so I've got some beautiful confirmation. She assures me that she's also looked into those same printers and contacted people that, you know, that had printed through them, and that's why she ended up going through them. She's had a good experience. I trust her. I have her deck on my table. It is 400 GSM. It is beautiful matte finish. The box was amazing. It has gilded edges, the whole kit and caboodle. So that's where we're going with that. That's where we're going. So the printer is, you know, we've got a good printer, put it that way, a printer whose product I have seen and I can trust. Now, moving on. I've said this before and I will say it again and again and again. The deck is standard size. If you know the size of a standard tarot card, it is the size of the Wild Unknown, the size of the Sun and Moon, US game system size, Lumina tarot size. You know, it's around that size. And it is a 78 card full pictorial deck. So it's not a pip deck, it's fully pictorial. It is borderless. It will be borderless. There will be no borders. I think the world around me would shock if I put a border on my deck, considering how adamant I am about no borders. And the card stock that we are aiming to get, and I'm certain we can get, is 400 GSM. So that's one thick mofo of a deck, right? So this means weight. This pushes the deck with guidebook over 500 grams, which is why all the postage had to be higher, because it is more than 500 grams. The deck itself, before it's even wrapped up, I tried with, you know, with some of the decks that I had here, same cardstock, same size, same dimension, same type of box. I took it down to my post office, I put it on the scale, and it was well over 500, like 530, and they wouldn't let it slide. And then when I factored in, you know, some kind of bubble wrap to make sure that everything got there, or the box itself, then it raised it up to almost just under 700 grams. So that was a factor that I had to take into consideration after that. So borderless, 400 GSM. Will I gild the edges? Will I gild the edges? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. If I fund this program, this sort of program, if I fund this project successfully, then I'll be able to do a little bit more than what I have envisioned, and I will be able to give you guys a little bit more as a result of that. So fingers crossed for me. What else do I need to say? Oh, yes, Anna and I were just talking about this. How did I put it, Anna, regarding the representation of the, you know, the elements? We were talking about the representation.
One thing, people are asking me, how much is the deck? Everybody wants to know how much the deck is. Everybody's been like,
okay, I did say it yesterday in brief. The deck is $60 US. That's the standard deck. And what was it, around, I can't tell you exactly because I can only really say in Australian dollars. I'm estimating here using currency converter as of yesterday. And the limited edition is $80 US. For those in Australia, that is 80, hang on, 80 US. For those in Australia, the standard deck is $80 and the limited edition is $105.50. That extra $5 is the Etsy fee that you see. So they are the price of the deck. When Etsy, lists its this particular listing, when you click on it, depending on where you are in the world, it will naturally convert that price for you. Okay, so which is why I've been hesitant to really say anything, because you're all based in all different parts of the world, and I can't give you a definitive, it's going to cost this much for you, and then it's going to cost this much for you, and then it's going to cost this much for you. So US dollars and Australian dollars is what I can deliver to you right now, because that's kind of what I've been working out online so far, through Anna and I's little chat. And
it'll be matte.
Yes, it will be matte.
Okay.
It will be matte because I don't like how glossy cards stick together. I have a number of beautiful, beautiful decks that are high gloss, and they do stick together. If you live somewhere where there's moisture, that can actually cause damage. If it sticks together for too long and you're eager, you can pull those apart and it can actually damage the deck itself. So I don't want this to be a deck that nobody uses. I would like this to be a deck that people use the shit out of. That's why I'm giving 400 GSM, because it's going to hold up on a good shuffle. It's not going to fall apart. It's not going to do the thing that flimsy decks do where little edges get really super worn, and it will over time, of course, but 400 GSM is a hell of a thick cardstock to try and wear down. You'd have to be shuffling that bad boy every single day, 50 times a day for 2 years, maybe less than that. I don't know. I'll have to put that to the test.
Okay. So how do we want to do this?
So
we're going through
saying, this is representation of the elements. You go. You talk about that, because I've
the elements. Okay. So we were just discussing the elements actually before we went online here. So the deck, the Minor Arcana will have some traditional Rider-Waite elements. So not all the cards are going to have, you're not going to see in every single card swords or wands or pentacles, but there will be some incorporated. So we're keeping it fluid in that sense. Also, the aces and all the aces will be elemental based. So probably you won't see any faces in them, correct? Like, so no hands.
Yeah, no faces, no faces.
Sword or
for the aces.
like that. So we're not going to have that in there, but we're definitely going to have, because when you start, so the Major Arcana is fairly easy for most people to grasp. When you go into the minors, it gets a little tricky for some people. So I think that it's important to start off with the minors and start off with the aces in a sense where you actually understand the element that you're going into. So if you're starting with earth, or sorry, you're starting with air, you get to feel air. Fire, you will feel fire. So you can kind of get connected from the beginning with that particular element that's going to govern the entire suit. So that's how we're going to attempt to create it. Now, for those of you who've been present through this process, you know that we are, we will take suggestions, and we do try and incorporate a lot of the suggestions and make it as round and as full as possible. Since we're doing this live, so you will get to see each card. We do have surprise cards, but the majority of the cards you do get to participate in and see exactly how it will be. and why we're doing it. So for instance, if you'll get the deck in the mail and you're looking at the cards, I mean, Avalon's going to have a pretty detailed probably description, knowing her, in the in that book. But if you will want to get a feel of why that card was being created that way, you can always go back to our video chats, which I believe now are in a playlist, so you can see why did she do that? Why is the strength card? Why does it have all the animals around? So you'll understand why. So we're keeping it as open as possible. Obviously, we will also answer questions as much as we can. So we're not disappearing. We're going to be here the whole process.
We're going to be here for all 78 cards. So this is a theme that we will continue to operate on, and we'll be doing on the scenes, designs, 2, sometimes maybe even 3, and then a couple behind the scenes, because we always like that little element of surprise. And that way as well, between the 2 weeks of our broadcasts, we're able to offer quite a few cards, and that means that the project is going to go rolling on forward. You're going to have such solid participation, and then those who are a member of the Facebook group will see all the sketches for the cards that we do, behind the scenes, some of the processes, the first glimpses of those cards. And we're trying to make it as fun and as community oriented as we can, because it is important. And you guys are all breathing life into this project. Your ideas during each design process are integral to how these cards are developed. There are times where, yes, I will come at this with a very solid idea of what I want, and then there are times where I'll know a little bit of what I want, and I will know a little bit of what I want, and then you guys will just fill in those gaps for me. And there's many examples of those throughout all of the decks created, and you'll see the elephant in the strength card. You will see the elephant in the strength card. That came from, the chat, and, the Odin, and the way that they wanted the blood to flow and the representations and etc. There was influence in that, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to share this project in that way. I would also like to say that today I anticipated quite a bit of chatter, and so I called aboard my little project ship here. I called aboard Alora Rain and Chase 2 Owls, and so they are going to be moderating the chat. I have sent them a description, my Etsy description of these particular items, so that they are familiar with what is going to be written up there, so they can answer questions on my behalf on the basis of that information that I've given them, and also the fact that they know me quite well. So that is a bonus. So, okay.
So we're going to go through the whole Major Arcana, what we have right now, correct?
Yes, yes. Do you want to start with do you want to do the 2 minors first?
Okay, wait.
We'll just have the 2
Which minors? Oh yeah, the ones we did.
Yeah, we've only got 2 minors. We originally had the first cards done were the Hierophant. Actually, show the original Hierophant first.
Okay, all right.
Start at the beginning. Right. Start at the beginning.
So the first card that was created was the Hierophant, and then but this isn't the final option. Okay, this was the preliminary Hierophant. So I'm going to try and get the. All right. So this is I'm using natural light here. So the colors that you're seeing are most likely pretty accurate. So this was the Hierophant that initially we had. And let's see, I'm trying to see what I'm showing you guys. And then we moved from this, which was more of a, I guess, a distant shot, right, where you can see the environment. She was supposed to be in the woods. We had the owl here, a very shamanic feel to the card, right? And then from this, we went to a more close-up shot. This is actually the Hierophant, the final Hierophant, where she's close up. She's beckoning you to join her. There's the owl in the background, same. We have a number of runes that are depicted here that are incorporated within the tree, and actually the two trees that you can kind of see. You see the runes on them. And we wanted to have like this woodsy feel to it. So this was the first card, the Hierophant. And so there were two options for the Hierophant. I don't think you guys have seen the first option before, but now you do. All right, moving on. The Fool. I know you guys like the Fool, so I put it there at the beginning. So this is the Fool card. You probably have seen it in, you know, on the Facebook page already in a template, but as you can see, it's a pretty big piece of art. So I'm going to go a little closer. You can see her there. So that is the Fool.
She's actually one of my daughter's favorite cards. I think there's a sense of innocent whimsy there, and that turned out to be even more perfect than I thought that it would be, because the Fool is that, you know, that divine Fool, like the spirit in search of experience, the youthful enthusiasm approach, and the very free, dreamy personality kind of thing. And so the fact that my children really resonated with that meant the world to me.
All right, so this is the Magician. And he is holding an orb composed of all the elements. And you can see there's also an elemental dragon that's kind of emerging from there.
Yeah. And if you guys remember when we designed him, I said I wanted Gandalf and I wanted Professor Dumbledore all rolled into one, because that to me was the essence of, you know, the magician, the skilled magician, you know, with wisdom and experience of the ages, etc. So I was very specific there.
So that was the Fool. I have, and they're not in order, okay? So I didn't put them in order because I didn't know we were showing all of them till 5 minutes we went on. So this is the Temperance card. And here you have an hourglass that has the two elements, water and earth. They are merging, they're coming together, and they're forming new life. And also you have a bone hand at the top holding it, and then you have a wooden hand cradling it from the bottom. So we're making a connection to the actual name of the deck also, Bonestone, and we are bringing that through. There's vines that are around, and this type of hourglass is antique. We wanted to look at antique.
Yes, we really did. I was throwing the words baroque out there, and we were originally, it was going to be wood, then it was going to be copper, and so we decided on that beautiful copper, and Anna put in the hands because it brought a little bit of the Empress into the card itself. Yeah,
actually,
so
I would probably bring the Empress. Well, all right. This is the Strength card that we were just talking about.
woohoo!
And here we're treating it a little different, right? She's in a meditative pose. So we're looking at the inner peace, inner strength versus taking control of strength on the outside. And the animals that are around her, you have the bear, the elephant, the black panther, and also the cobra. They are figments. They are not real. I'm going to kind of bring this a little closer so you can see that you can kind of see through them, because they're all part of her. They're coming out of her.
That's right. And they're also elemental. So the bear is earth, the water is elephant, the snake is what was it, fire?
Yes.
What did I miss? And oh yeah, the panther, speed, air.
So we're going, and she's sitting also at the edge of this cliff. So
it shows that she's on the precipice of something, you know, she's literally on the edge.
This kind of gray background where it's not fully sunny, right? Because she has to exert an inner force. So that was the Strength card. This is help me out. I'm drawing a blank.
Artemis.
No, the card name. Drawing a blank.
that was Gifu. That was. Oh yeah.
No. The card name.
Oh, Justice.
That's the one. Yes, Justice. Okay, so here's the Justice card.
I'm going the rune.
You're
sorry,
like
Anna.
So, yeah, we have like she's actually interacting with you, like this figure here. She sees you. She sees you for who you are. And then there's the softer side, the softer aspect, and there is the rune, the Gifu rune in the palm, and those are actually olive branches.
Yes.
And we wanted an Amazon-looking woman, so you had this idea of, strength and warrior type quality, but at the same time balanced with this peaceful, more Zen figure.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. This is the Devil card. And the Devil here is seen standing on a mound of skulls. And between the skulls, you have different, golden elements. You have crowns, swords, jewels, everything that we lust for, everything that we think is important. She is in control of. In her hands, there is a serpent-inflicted heart, meaning that it has been corrupted. And also, from her right hand, there are coins that are falling, and they are transforming into pomegranate seeds. And there's a little bit of a link there between the myth of Persephone going into the underworld and, taking a bite, eating a seed from the pomegranate and then having to stay there, right? So we're bringing that element of myth in there. The hair is reminiscent of the Medusa, but it is not the Medusa because, as you can see, her legs are that of the goat. So it's not. We are combining certain aspects of myth, and onto the side.
We're creating a beastly. We're creating a beast that's literally sitting aloft the pirates' plunder. And all of those elements that we have chosen to infuse there, it might seem a little bit busy, but it made perfect sense in the creation of the card. The snakes are, in fact, yes, they are reminiscent of Medusa. They are black mamba, and they were chosen because of the fast neurotoxin in that particular snake. And there's that element of danger, and there's that element of death there, and of luring. And then there was the semi-human, semi-beastly figure to emphasize the beast within. And when we're working with the Devil, we see reckless abandon, and we also see, lust and addiction, and we see a darker element there, all rolled into one. So having that creature as a beast then made it, it just made it easier to deal with, really, when we think about it, because it's like taming the beast within. And that's exactly how I sort of see the Devil card. So that's where we went with it.
Next is a very controversial card. Here's the Tower. And you see a bald eagle that has been struck down. He is not dead. He is fighting. You can see the feathers in the air. He's his expression is that of he's at the end, but not there, right? So this majestic bird that normally we'll see flying and full of strength has lost all of that. Now, again, guys, it's not about the U.S. We were not doing anything related to the U.S. Has nothing to do with the U.S. I just had to put that in there.
That's right. This is devoid of those connotations. We chose the eagle because of its valiant nature. It is a bird of prey and it experiences great heights. So like a tower, like an edifice that rises up into a sky, we thought that a regal bird would be very befitting that. And then the trapping of said regal bird. Now, for some reason, when we released this card, of course, it contained a lot of political connotations, which there are none of. That's not the way that the deck was created, nor the card was created. And there was associations, natural, just born associations to the eagle, because it is representative of American armed forces and, a symbol of America. I was a bit shocked when this happened, and also I did a little bit of research. The bald eagle can be found in Mexico and also Canada, so that made me feel a little bit better.
So that was the tower. Now, following the tower, right, we have to have hope. So this is the star card. And in the star card, we have this individual, this man, and we are bringing in some elements of like the Indian tribes. We have his head is covered with tattoos, but not only that, he has the symbol, the sigil of hope is actually on his cheek. I'm going to bring this a little closer. I'm not sure.
Hold it up a little bit higher. Just hold it up a little bit higher.
I think I might have to adjust my...
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so he has a sigil on his cheek, the sigil of hope.
Yep.
And from within his chest, you can see the eagle that was in the tower. He is coming forth, and his chains are breaking. He is full of strength and hope and everything good. So this is how we chose to depict this card, and everything's happening on a dark background. Okay.
It's beautiful. He has a story too. The hope is the hope card. That's not the hope card, the star card. The star card is the very reason why I will now be doing an element of story and a bit of a narrative to go with each of the cards, because as soon as I saw it, as soon as I saw this beautiful star card, a complete story came to me. And so I'm going to try and do a little bit of that complete story to at least get you in touch with the personality and the energy of our star card. And also you might be able to connect then with other star cards as a result.
Yes. So moving forward, this is the Emperor card. And the Emperor, there's a lot of stuff going on here. The stance is that of getting ready for battle. And as you can see at the bottom, there's the scenery as in the snow. There's blood, a little bit of blood on the snow. In the background, she's not going into this alone. She has the support of the ancestors behind her. So hence these almost ghost-like figures that are behind. And she has the shield, and then there's also runes on her on her arm. And
yes,
then
she has runes on her arm shield.
Yeah, arm shield.
There's a word for that. We couldn't think of it the first time. We remembered it, and then now we've forgotten it again. So the cuff. It's a cuff.
Cuff.
Yeah.
Hey, English is my second language.
As is
and so is yours.
Well. We're both foreign.
Okay, so this is the
Emperor. There you have it. And people ask, is it a man or is it a woman? Well, is it a man or is it a woman? Is it?
Does it matter? Isn't there an emperor in each and every one of us?
That's exactly right. Is it a man or is it a woman? So when you're reading it, you can decide there and then what it's going to be for you. Works, doesn't it?
This is the death card. So the death card, we're bringing in again, we're tying it to the Bonestone. You can see the skull that's being formed out of ravens. So the ravens are the carriers of the soul, right? They're known to be linking us to the other world. Here you can see that the individual is past, but he is still rooted in this life. Within the roots themselves, there are symbols. Bring it a little closer. Avalon, can you read the symbols? I can't read them from here.
I can't actually.
Not?
I can't actually. And I can't even remember them because we've used so many symbols throughout all of the cards.
I know there's Scorpio in here. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, there's Scorpio, Pluto. There might also be the infinity symbol, Scorpio, Pluto, infinity symbol, and maybe the ancestor symbol might be in there as well, Orthala, from the Elder Futhark. There could be another one.
And then you have the soul, so that's being depicted here is leaving and moving on. So
that's exactly right. So the body is bursting forth with life to be reincarnated, and those birds that you see are in fact ravens. They are ravens, not crow, not butcher bird, not peewee bird, ravens.
Ravens. Okay, the lovers. The lovers. So the lovers, we were trying to show that connection, right? So we're not showing the full image of the angel at the top and all that, but you have this cauldron. So from within this cauldron that's mixing of these energies comes forth the lovers. You have the infinity symbol, and also the plants that are at the bottom are symbolic. I know we had belladonna, we had a couple other ones, the poppies. So there are specific plants that we included in here. And then, let's see. Yeah, so it's almost like this merging between sky and fire. So there's like the earth and the sky, they're coming together. That's why there's the two separation in colors. So the two elements are coming in together.
Yeah, so earth and sky. So the melding of earth and sky, as above, so below, the infinity symbol. So the traversing of energies backwards and forwards, nothing ever ends. It only continues, and it morphs, etc. The togetherness is the romantic aspect of the lovers, but it's also the fact that they're bursting out of a cauldron. It contains that element of creation. So the cauldron is one of those ultimate symbols of creation, of bringing something forth in a really magical sense, and of brewing it, of alchemy, of partnership, of mixing, of melding, of broiling, of, you know. So think of a cauldron and what it's traditionally used for, not perhaps its more modern day aspects, but it was a cooking pot first and foremost. So there's an element of alchemy to that as well. So lots to think about with that one. And of course, we've got all those dreamy ethnogens down the bottom there, just caressing the little cauldron a little tiny bit, getting you all a little bit woo-woo. So it's fun. It's a fun card, isn't it?
Moving to the moon card. This is the moon card. So we had her facing us because we want that connection with the actual person. If we could always flip her around and you just see the moon, but you lose so much of what's going on. She's casting her circle. There's a circle of energy that is being formed, and from her hair you have these lunar moths that are kind of flowing off. I'm trying to hold it as still as I can, but
hold it up a little bit, just up a smidge.
This way?
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, so the lunar moths are escaping from her hair, and she's in full sacred space. She's in ecstasy of sacred space. So she's raising that energy up around her. She's drawing down that power from the moon. She is doing all kinds of inner magic right here. It's very majestic. The element of the moon, the inner magic, the sense of wonderment, the raising of energy, the witch aspect to this. Fabulous.
Yes. So, and we wanted like a Harry Potter move. So, trying to get that. Let's see.
Someone wanted to know if the star by the moon is a particular star. That was the Tiger Abyss is asking.
No, I remember you mentioned that you just wanted one single star by the moon. I don't think we specified which one it was.
No, we didn't. So it's the star that's closest to the moon, wherever you are.
The Hermit. This is the Hermit. And she's in a cave. Behind her, there are cave paintings. They're specific to the Australian region. She has markings on her, and behind her you can see there's it's not a real one bird, but it's almost like a shamanic spirit of a bird, of an eagle that's coming forth. And then she is actually casting bones. So she's getting all that divination that she needs. She is in seclusion, but she's also comfortable. There is no, she has her torch, which we went with a torch instead of the
traditional lantern.
So that would be the
and the constellation is for Virgo.
Yes, in the constellation. Yes, she's floating a constellation. It's in her palm, and it's the constellation of Virgo. Okay, the Empress card. This is the Empress. So the Empress, we're showing her actually birthing life. She is birthing cornucopia. She is part of the earth. She is emerged. She is
merged
herself with the tree. So her hand is actually going into the tree, becoming one, and also the tree is cradling her belly. And that is the hand that, if you remember, the hourglass had that was holding at the base.
That was our Temperance card, had the bone hand on top and the wooden tree hand down below. So it's life and death there.
So this is the Empress. And we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, the way we did it is you have the two pillars, right? The pillar of light and the pillar of dark. This is dark. This is the pillar of white. She is the white pillar moving. She's moving into the unknown and towards the dark. But she's also moving with all this knowledge that is behind her. And if you go in close, you can see the spider that is present from the Fool card. So we're incorporating symbols and elements that were from previous cards that we created. This is the lunar moth. This is the owl from the Hierophant. And then we have a key for knowledge. Oh yeah, and the sphere, the crystal sphere from the magician.
That was the magician sphere. That's right. Somebody just asked what the backing would look like, and it's going to look like this. That's the backing of the card.
Yep.
And it's completely reversible. So
this is the backing, right? What she has there. This is it. So it's the infinity symbol. We're bringing in the leaves that are going to be present actually as the holder that you can see the leaves present also on the front of the cards. Can you flip the card over so they can see the leaf? What I mean, because I don't have a.
You mean the leaf?
Flip.
Oh yeah. There.
All right, so that little tiny leaf that she's holding up at the bottom. So we're bringing in the leaf from the text holder. So we want to kind of bring everything together. All right, so these are the majors that we've done. There are actually two more cards that we did do. We have the Eight of Swords that we created, and also the Queen of Wands. So we did two cards from the minors, just so we can see how they worked out. So this is the Eight of Swords.
That's right.
And the Eight of Swords in the water is a reflection, and the reflection is her inner child that is being confined. So it's you can see the swords that is surrounding her inside the water. Because most of the times that you're feeling confined and you don't know how to get out of a situation, you know, that is typically associated with the Eight of Swords, it is that internal struggle, and it is that, you know, inner child that is kind of struggling to make sense of it all. So we did that for this one.
That's right. We have runes up in the mountains. We have cherry blossoms. We wanted to depict that opposition of thought. So we wanted to depict a beautiful, noble woman holding a sword with ease and with grace, the mountain holding space for her around her, the cherry blossoms bringing in that sense of beauty and full bloom, the blue garb, you know, that actualization, the perfect verbal communication, the throat chakra, air, sea, it's a powerful color. And then, of course, her mind is elsewhere, and her mind is the trapped child, caged by the cutlasses that are literally like edging in, and there's a sense of fright and stress and worry and misunderstanding of the self going on there. So that's all there.
And then the other card is the Queen of Wands. And as you can see, we don't have wands, but we don't have wands present here. So you don't see the wands, but you do get the sense. We're showing the wands through color. You have a lot of this warm, hot, you know, sun kind of overseeing her. She is in control of the tiger, but the control of it is not as you would normally see and say the strength card, right? Because she is holding him on this loose leash, and her crown is of bones. She has a serpent at her legs, by her legs. And so the way that Avalon envisioned this, from what I remember, because this was probably one of the first cards we did, is she is sitting, and there was like this hilt on this hilltop, and behind her there's a little scenery of like a little town, and the sunset is behind her. So she is overseeing everything.
That's it. She's holding space. She has symbolism there that was taken, that were, you know, not taken, but we used more Adinkra symbols. So from West Africa, I wanted her to be an African queen. I wanted her to be that headdress and that sense of fire and passion and fervor, and have that tiger be in that, you know, extremely predatorial state while she remains calm because she's fucking boss, you know. So that's the energy that I was going for.
So we're going to reveal cards for you now. Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
So the cards these cards we worked on last time. The first one I'm going to show is the Hangman, and the Hangman is Odin.
That's right.
So this is Odin, and he is seen. You can just see his upper torso part. His hands are bound by 9 knots, and he is digging his fingers in his palm. And you can see the blood kind of pouring, and from the drops of blood, you have the first 4 runes that are coming through, which are Ansuz, Manaz, Othala, and Wunjo, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Mm-hmm.
And also you have a little, where is it? Here it is. From part of the rope, there's a little tiny, like a skull of a raven, and you also have the raven wing in flight below him. So we're alluding to the ravens that are associated with him. So I'm going to flip him down so you can kind of see his face too. There you go. So if you get this card reversed, this is what it would look like.
If you get this card reversed, it almost looks like he's pulling down his hands and breaking free his wrists. But if you get it upside down, it has the bound aspect to it.
So this is Odin. I know a lot of people wanted to see Odin as the Hangman, so there you have it.
Me being one of them.
And then now the other card that we're going to show is the Wheel of Fortune, and we worked on that last time. And we had the 3 Norns that are going to be present here. This is the Wheel of Fortune card. And the Norns, Bird, Verdandi, and Skuld. So what was once, what is coming, and what shall be. And here we're showing the thread of life, but it's changing colors as it's going from hand to hand. At the end, the thread is actually, the energy of the thread is going into the earth, and then it's progressing back. So it's a continuous cycle, because nothing is lost. Everything gets transformed. So all the energies are perpetually moving. And that is the message that the Wheel of Fortune holds.
That's right. Nothing ever stays as it is. It will always shift.
So that's the Wheel of Fortune card. I'm going to zoom a little bit so you can see their faces are not very clear, because we're keeping them a little mysterious.
Yes, they are meant to be veiled. You do want to see a little bit, but not too much, because it's not really about the physical depiction of them. They are representative of divine, sacred, overarching energies, and that's the absolute. You know.
So we have 2 more cards for you that you have not seen yet, that you do not know.
2 card reveals.
2 card reveal. The first one, Avalon, you're gonna talk about this one. I'll help.
Okay.
It's the Judgment card. So
yes.
Judgment card, we usually see it as the angel with the trumpet and the people coming out of their graves. They're rising out of the graves. But the Judgment card is a card that, it gives you a sense of redemption, and also a different course in your life. It is an elevation in a sense. And so we're showing this here as an initiation. And the person is being initiated, and she is kneeling at the crossroads. And the crossroads are actually 4 rivers that are coming together, because everything that we do, and especially when you're going through any type of initiation in life, right? When you're progressing from one state to another, and there is also a very strong emotional link to it. You have the waters here that are supporting, and also it's a decision process that is being made, hence the crossroads, right? You have the tree in the background, but the tree is actually bare. It has no leaves, and it's covered in snow. At the same time, the scenery is not fully in the snow, because it's an in-between state. There's also spring happening. You have the green fields in the background. So this is the Judgment card.
That's exactly right.
Any additions?
The woman in purple is the High Priestess, so to speak, and she's initiating the bear woman that's kneeled before her. She's blindfolded because there's a sense of unknowing to it. There's also, she's bare because there's a sense of bare and naked, of being exposed and of not knowing. There's an element of trust to it. There's an element of crossroads to it. There's an element of the world between worlds, in a place that is not a place, at a time that is not a time. So it's supposed to look weird.
Okay, 1 more card. We have the World card. The World card is a massive, beautiful tree. But not only that, it's a tree that is formed out of the energies that are made of the chakra system. The progression of the chakras going through this tree, you have the roots, the solid base, and then its branches that are expanding. So when you're going to see this in a card, it's actually going to be cropped. So you're going to see there will be no end to this tree. It's cropped from the sides, so you will see the roots, but the top and the sides, the branches, will be extending out of the page. So, and also if you think about it, the world card has to be a very symbolic for everybody and depicting one particular person in it. If you have a human, a male or female, that can throw off people. So it's using a symbol that is common for everybody, and everybody gets it, knows what a tree means, what the symbology I can't speak, symbology of a very big tree that's grown.
It's also an ash tree, by the way.
It's an ash tree, yes.
So the ash tree, for those who are familiar with, who are not familiar, I should say, with Norse mythology, is the Yggdrasil. So that is the world tree.
Yeah, so because when you see it, it shows time, right? The width of it, you know, it's an old tree. It shows time. The roots are, you know, linking to past and ancestors and life, and how it got all the nourishment it needed, and also the branches, the expansion. So we figured it would be a good depiction of a world tree card.
Yeah.
So these are the new cards that we have. And now I know you wanted to show them some sketches, because so they can
yes.
have an idea.
Okay, so we're very close to pre-orders now. We're very close to live launches. So Anna's going to show you the first pre-order that I'm going to do, that I'm going to release, just because it's easier for me to fiddle around from this end to do one at a time, is going to be the limited edition. And so this is relevant to those who are looking to partake in the limited edition 78 card with sketches. So these are original artist sketches. Now, for those who sit with us during our lives, you will see Anna scratching furiously on a piece of paper with some kind of awesome charcoal pencil. That's not the sketch. That's not the sketch. She then goes off in her usual Anna way and will create something far more detailed. Now I'm going to let her explain to you what she's used, what kind of pencil, paper, what the go is.
I have actually, if you go to the Facebook group, there's a video there that will show you the process that is done for each card. And I believe it's actually, I did it for the star card. So you will see how we go from a sketch format, which you'll be getting. We will transfer it to the watercolor paper, and then how it progresses. So what you'll be getting is the sketch that is before it gets transferred to the paper. That's why it's going to look pretty much identical to the card. So I'm going to use this as an example. Put that here to show you what I mean. I'm coming back. I'm not hiding behind. I'm going to move my desk. Where is it? All right, here it is. So this is the strength card. Yeah, the strength card. And you will be getting a sketch, the original sketch of the strength card. So this is what is being transferred to the paper. You can see it's the positioning and all that is the same. So this is what you're getting. And I'm showing you a couple of them. This is the strength. So this would be included with one of the decks. And the paper is, it's drawing paper. It's Strathmore, I believe. It's a little heavier than printer paper, but it's not, I mean, it's drawing paper. As far as pencil, I draw everything with pencil, and then it gets transferred, and then it gets inked. So this is the magician sketch that would be going. This is the where is it? This is the Justice. This is for the Devil card. So these are the drawings that then I would move forward with. It's not the ones that we do rough sketches during live chat, because those are very rough, and then I have to retouch them and tighten them up a bit. So this is the moon. And what else do I have here? Temperance. Justice. I mean, yeah, not justice. We just did it.
That's it. That is it. Okay, folks. That is, they are the pencil sketches. So they are examples. There will be 78 of. When you purchase this, there can be no request for a particular card, because then it just wouldn't be fair for everyone. So I will choose blindly, like literally have them upside down and just flick them out like this and shuffle them together and make sure that they are randomly dealt in a way that is fair. So, and that way it's almost oracular as well. So if I'm not looking and I'm just dealing and putting them out there, then what you get is it's literally meant to be, you know, for you, thanks to the gods. I would also just like to say that that listing is now live. So you have that live listing.
You just listed it right now?
I did. Just gonna like beat a little bit on the drum just to raise a little bit of energy.
Maybe you want to put down the link to your Etsy shop on the chat in case people don't have it.
I'm not sure if I can. Does it let you link stuff now?
I don't know.
Actually,
you have it in the body of the video at the bottom of your details. Does it say?
Just having a look. Oh, of course, you're going to be. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, okay. So it's just trying to be a bit difficult. It doesn't want to load. Just being a bit difficult. Can you see me all right? Because it's just lagging a little bit.
If you go to Etsy and you type in Avalon's Apothecary, it should come up, right?
You can type in Avalon Cameron.
Oh,
Hang on. Let's see if I can get it here. There you go. I've just posted it. I'll post it again. Just in case. And
Avalon's like, stop talking so I can post it in here. I can feel your slap.
So we're just going to post
Laura, you're like.
Okay, so for those who weren't here when I discussed the pricing of the postage is not standard because it is more than 500 grams. And so more than 500 grams means a step up. And that all prices are based on economy airmail. That's the second from the bottom. You know, I could have gone express, which could have come up to the hundreds of dollars internationally, but I've kept it as low as I can without going via ship, which they said from here could take anywhere between 3 and 5 months, which is just ridiculous. I mean, that's ridiculous.
So are we gonna wait, or are we gonna go through the creation process?
Do
you guys want to get a drink? I feel like everybody in the chat needs to go and get some water and some drinks.
I need something. I need something amazing. July 12th. I used the wrong shipping location. Oh, okay. Amber K. Hang on. I've got to do some. Oh, wow. Yay, guys. Thank you. Amber, I will. Hang on. Sorry. Anna, would you just like to fill some space for me while I just do a little bit of back of house?
Okay. All right. So let's chat a little bit.
I'll mute my mic so I'm not making stupid sounds. I'll do video.
Okay, so thank you everybody for jumping on this. I wasn't really expecting that many of you to come on tonight, so it's really awesome that you're supporting us in this, because it does matter, and creating a deck is not an easy thing to do. And you know, it takes a long time to create the deck, and you know, just having people behind you actually helps a lot, because you know that it's working and it's moving on, and it's moving in the right direction. Two of Owls, what has been the major inspiration been for drawing up this awesome deck? Well, so it's mostly Avalon's vision of the cards. So she has, for some of the cards, she will have like a sense of what she wants. And what happens is, when we kind of do the live chats, like, we start off with a general idea, and then it kind of comes to fruition by the end of the chat. And that's why it's so much fun, because a lot of people will come in with certain ideas that we can incorporate. And so I wouldn't say that the inspiration is coming from me necessarily, because even though I'm creating the deck, I'm illustrating it. It's not just my idea in this. So you can see that her presence is infused in the decks, in the cards themselves. You know, I try to be very clear, because my background is advertising, so I know there's like a lot of stuff, you know, like, it's very easy to do the same thing that somebody else has done, and it's a fine line, because there's so many images out there and so many decks that have been created, and sometimes you'll come up with an idea and it's already been done. So you can do a search and you can't find it, and then somebody will be like, well, you know, it's very similar to this. So what we're trying to do, usually we sketch it so the idea is done, and then through the process of creating it, I will do like searches, photo searches, but I will merge like photos, like ideas of photos. I don't like, I won't look at one image and then just kind of draw an inspiration for that. I'll give you an example. This is funny, actually. So for the Hangman, we had the idea of Odin. I knew that it was going to be an older man, a bearded man, and all that. And then what happened was, I had to have an image of a guy that has his hands bound, and I needed to see that to draw it, because no matter how much I can actually envision it, I have to see it to draw it right. So this is happening at late one night. You know, it's like 11 p.m. and I type in, search hands tied with rope, and I have this Google search pop up with bondage. And then, like, let me just explain that 50 Shades of Grey was nothing compared to the images that came through. And it was interesting, because I'm here trying to do a card that has such a very strong spiritual connotation, and then I see all these bound, sexually explicit images, and I'm trying to be very professional about it, but it's very hard. And that's kind of what, there's a little insight on the Hangman. So that's what happened with the Hangman. I had to like really find something that would work. So I'm going to read some of the things you guys are writing. Okay, let's see. Okay. The Tiger's Abyss is asking, would you guys consider going mass published or keep it intimate and only self-published? Well, it's Avalon's choice. If she wants to send it to a publisher, that's up to her. I'll definitely support it. But usually, from my experience, publishers don't, they will take on a deck once it's fully created. So submitting a deck, they like decks that are already done. Sometimes they like decks that have been out there and have had already been publicized, so they don't have to do a lot of the work to get them out there. So if she wants to do that, then that's great. Are you back?
Yes, I'm a bit back. I just had, just to be very clear, guys, I just had to do 2 refunds because this was the incorrect purchase for 2 people. This is for the limited edition sketches. There was complications doing those refunds. So if there's any issues to the 2 people that I just had to refund upon request, please let me know. There's processing fees with a refund. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen there. But if, like I said, if there's any issues, I'll be in touch with the both of you.
You get refunded by Etsy. Etsy will refund you the listing fee, and PayPal will refund you. Okay. It's not
fabulous. So I've done full refunds upon request because it was the wrong item purchased. So with that said, I'm going to try and go in there now and just create chaos and just, well, I'm not going to do anything apparently because my internet is that slow. It doesn't want to parallel process. Don't be like that.
Felicia Robertson, it's on Avalon's Etsy page. So if you type in Avalon Cameron, it should come up. Her store is going to come up, so it should be there. Unless it already sold out, which I highly doubt it.
No, right? It's not sold out yet. Okay, so I have just sent live the standard copy of the deck. This is the standard Bonestone Earthflesh Tarot deck with companion book, all in a box, good stuff. That's the plain one without the sketches attached. So for those who had issues discerning which one was which, the banners for both are different. So the black banner with the spread of cards, that's the limited edition, and the snapshot of the full card, that is the standard 78 card deck, no limited edition sketches. So there's 2 listings. Please read which ones. They're in the title. Both descriptives are in the title. So one will say Bonestone pre-order, another one will say Bonestone plus limited edition sketches. So just read them very carefully. And just as I say that, I'm going to just make sure that that is indeed the case, so that I haven't made a mistake on my end because I'm dyslexic. So
Ginger Witch is asking if I will sign these. Yes, I will sign them. I can sign the sketches, definitely. I can also write the name of the card. So give it the title, whatever the card name is. So I can definitely sign them.
Yes. Okay, so I have in fact titled them aptly. So both will say pre-order at the start. One will be for the limited edition, so you'll be able to see that, which is a little teensy weensy, tiny little bit exciting.
Madeline M is asking if we're going to have an accompanying oracle or Lenormand. I don't know.
Let's just get through the tarot deck, people.
This is fun because I'm working on. I have another one in the back.
I've got stuff. We've got stuff. We just have to do everything in order. Otherwise, a thing at a time. I mean, you can parallel process. Like Anna's doing this project with me, and she's also doing her own Tarot of the Abyss, and it looks phenomenal. So she's working on those projects together, and she's got other stuff going on at the same time. So as have I. So Will there be more decks? Probably.
Is there a price difference, Amy Palmer? I'm assuming you're asking if there's a price difference between the limited edition and the regular decks, and yes, there is.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There's a price difference. So
okay. I was telling them about my experience with the Hangman, how
with the bondage.
Yeah, I could just see nobody was around me. Like the kids were all in bed. I could just see my husband going, "Yeah, right. It's for your work." Mm-hmm. Right.
It's all the work. It's so funny though. It is like the funniest thing. When she told me, I was just like, of course that would happen. Oh my gosh. All right, and we're going to also move on to start designing. What are we designing?
We have 2 more cards. We have 2 more cards to do. We have the Sun and the Chariot card, and we talked about these before. So, I mean, I have a pretty good sense of what you want, but let's talk about it so they can hear what you were thinking. So for the Chariot, the way that you envisioned it was like a gypsy caravan.
Yeah, that's the one.
And just having the like this old looking wooden caravan, and then having the beautiful gypsy with all like the colorful dress and flowing and kind of walking in front of the caravan, and you know, with the horse.
That's it. And someone's asking again about the backing. Sorry, Anna. This is the backing of the deck. The infinity symbol, the stone grey for the bonestone. The leaves match the little leaf detail at the bottom of each card where the name of the card will be written, and also the number of the card will be very, very faintly done at the top, but it's not supposed to be obtuse. So it will be there so that you know it's not going to be a blind sort of a deck in that regard. Yes. So back to the Chariot card, Gypsy Caravan. You know, so, nice little.
Just so the way that the Chariot is usually seen, you see this guy and he's in the chariot and he's like, you know, hitting the horses, and one is going left and one is going right. But in a traditional, like if you see the gypsy caravans there, so the caravan is their home. It's in, you know, everything is in that caravan, and speed is not necessarily what's going to happen with a caravan. You know, it's a steady, directed road. So the person that's actually in front is, you know, the horse. You're not going to see this horse kind of galloping in the middle of the field. So that's actually an interesting take to the Chariot, because it's being able to control, to have that control, and be able to like guide it in the direction that you need it to be in, and knowing which way to go, not necessarily with impulsiveness. So that's what I took from what you were talking, you know, when we were chatting last time. Was it like 3 weeks ago with the caravan?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We wanted to do a beautiful gypsy caravan, one because the gypsy caravan is so lovely on the eyes, two because it has that sense of homely movement. Now, because Anna is from Romania, she was able to give me some cultural context about this, and that is that. Did you just say this? Did you just say this? Oh my God, no.
Did I say what?
Did you say the part about the caravan and the not like? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was doing behind the scenes, and also my green candle just dripped on my coven crystal, like doing these ones. I got a lot of stuff going on back here, guys. A lot of stuff.
So I can sketch something out, and it's gonna be like I'm seeing it like you know, colorful. So you can have
super colorful, like the little bells and whistles, little you know, tiny touches of just yummy witchy details. You know, the good stuff, Anna, the good stuff.
Okay. And then so should we talk about the other card also, or just do this one first?
Yeah, the other card being the Sun card.
Yeah.
So we are doing the Sun card as well. The Sun card is going to be a friend to the Moon card, but the vibe is going to be very different. So where the Moon card was the single woman raising energy, connecting with the moon, lunar moths, you know, swirl around her, the Sun card is going to be much more sort of a Beltane, maypole dancing kind of feel, a little bit kindred to, say, the Tarot of the She, where it's like the ring of fairies. Like, so it's animated in that way. We're not copying the particular card itself. So we're going to have the sun, the energy of the sun very present, and then the tribal kind of dancing that is very Beltane, adorned bodies, you know, the great hunt, that kind of energy attached to it. So it's a fiery festival. And here you go. There you go.
I think from what I think you wanted to tie in somehow the sun rays with the maypole, like have like a maypole.
That's
and like,
right.
Instead of the ribbons, to have like sun rays, kind of them bringing in the sun rays.
That's exactly right. The sun rays, indeed. I wanted to have the maypole aspect, which is very typical to the to Beltane. We don't do the maypole here, of course, because that's just not something that Australia does, but I've always wanted to do the maypole. And so the idea of having it a tribute to Beltane, the fire, the festival, you know, the sacred union, energy, exterior projection of divine sacred energy, and the melding of masculine and feminine. It's like all about heat and summer, right? And so we wanted that maypole. We wanted to bring the dancing element in because of the maypole. We wanted to somehow incorporate the sun, this array of the sun as the maypole. We were talking a little bit about that at one stage. So we do have an element. Are you drinking wine? I want wine.
Sorry, yes, I am. It's night here.
How dare you?
I'm not a responsible adult right now. Irresponsible adult. Yes. Well, it's like 11 my time, so I'm allowed.
It's 11 your time. It's 1 my time, which still makes it respectable drinking time.
Yes, this is my first glass of wine. So, all right. So I'll try and sketch some stuff out. Do we want to? No. Okay. So does it matter if there are 2 horses in the chariot or 1 horse? Usually you see two horses, but since we're doing it's a caravan, usually there's sometimes there's like 1 horse.
That's right.
So does it matter?
2 horses? 1 horse? What did you just say? That usually?
I said sometimes there's not a lot of horse. There's like 1 horse pulling the caravan, because like gypsies, the gypsies are not really like very wealthy in general. So you have 1 horse.
So 1 horse. It's a 1 horse affair. Yeah, no, I think 1 horse, it would work beautifully. And if we can tie in some color with that 1 horse, you know, a little color.
Yeah.
A little something there, you know, in the reins, a few little details. Like, sounds like it could be done. Sounds like it could be done. I'm just as Anna's sketching, I've got lots of comments to answer as well through Etsy. Fabulous. I've got a candle that's exploding here. So fun. As I've had a request, I've just had a question regarding payment through Etsy. Does it matter? Does it matter if the payment goes through PayPal or through credit card or direct checkout? I think it's called. It doesn't. Your Etsy will register your payment. That it will earmark your product. It's not going to just sit in limbo like you've locked it in until the payment doesn't go through. Essentially, it's you're locked into you. But it doesn't matter.
Etsy and direct checkout is that the money that is going, like if you're paying with a credit card, the money goes on the Etsy site and it gets transferred. Avalon, you have to like go in manually and adjust the time that you want the money to get transferred to your account. So if you have like the next day or in a week or whatever, you have to actually go in
Oh, yeah,
So
that's fine. Yeah,
that's
that's
the only
no big
difference.
problem.
Like the money gets sent directly to the seller, and with PayPal, it goes through PayPal, and it sits in PayPal. So that's the two differences.
That's exactly right. So no big deal. This is the only option.
I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. No. Other option is live. So there is still a little bit of both. I do believe. I don't think I've sold out of anything just yet. Let me just double check. Just a bit. I'm typing very quickly. Usually I would write really lovely messages to people, but I've got a lot of questions, and so I'm just typing, putting a little something there so that you know that it's me. I'm doing this right now, and just please note that I changed my mailing address. I was so excited. Lorraine, that's fine. Oh, I don't know if that's fine. I'll have to look at that one, Lorraine. I'll look into it. Okay, so I'm sure that there's something that can happen. Oh my God. I'm doing in my country. Okay, so there's for those who are looking at changing their address, just give me some time. I've never had to do that before, so I just need some time to see what I can do. I don't think it should be too much of a problem, but I'll see. I'll see, okay? Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your thoughtful questions. And that I'm just trying to make sure that I'm here on both, on both platforms right now. Eden. LE. Second order for the regular. I'm not sure. Somebody. Oh, okay. I've got to do another cancellation of an order. Hang on a minute. It's a custom order. No. Okay, I'll have to have a look at these afterwards, guys, because I'm getting too many questions all in at once, and it's really like starting to get a bit stressed. I need like a team of people in here with computers right now, and there's just me. But I'll quickly see if I can just look into this one first. Holy doolies. I can't even. I will have to look into that one. Fabulous. This is to me looking into that one. Okay. So I've just got to give it a minute, guys, because I'm going to stress out. I'm going to pop like a, what do you call it? A aneurysm or something to that degree. All right, so while Anna's sketching madly away, I do have lots of questions coming through. If you have made an error in your purchase with address, or you've accidentally purchased two, or you've purchased the wrong one, as in you purchased the limited edition and you wanted the standard, or vice versa, then just give me a moment. I'm going to look at that after this broadcast so I can spend all of my focus on that. Otherwise, I'm not going to do a great job. I just want to make sure that I do everything in the bookkeeping section, beautifully. Okay. Questions. I have got, Oh, yes. For those who also wanted to know, there is 300 there's 300 total items up for grabs. Once those 300 are sold, we're well on our way to funding our project, in which case Anna and I can move a lot faster. People can start getting paid. We can start really getting out there. I have put for those who weren't here on my live chat yesterday, I've explained this very carefully, and that's regarding the time of shipping. Now, Etsy doesn't allow you to put any longer to ship. So, for instance, the longest shipping option it gave me was 10 weeks. Now, being that this is the project in the making, I had to list it as unknown. I have put the production date, as in like the release date for the deck, to be December 2018, because that's the longest time frame that I could add at that time. And so I am hoping, if it's possible, maybe a month, maybe 2 months sooner. But, you know, I wanted to give myself plenty of time to work out any kinks, any printer issues, because I have received a lot of advice from people that have said, make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Otherwise, people are going to start yelling at you. They're going to start harassing you. And also, if you have any issues with the printer, then it's important that you give yourself plenty of time to resolve those issues, which could potentially mean sending decks back to the printer and then having them mail them back to me, which takes an extra amount of time. So I've had to factor all of that time into the equation, plus time for packaging, manual packaging, you know, sourcing and wrapping and writing little cards and things like that, because for the first edition, I would really like to just, you know, write on a little card, or, you know, put my little name down there and say a nice thank you for supporting my project, because I have been working with tarot for more than 20 years now. I fell in love with it when I saw my mum use it, and she was really little, and I always wanted to play with the cards. You know, that's not when I started working with tarot. You know, some people are like, I started with tarot when I was a baby. Well, I didn't start with tarot when I was a baby. I liked tarot. I felt attracted to it. I was curious, yes. And then later on, in my early 20s is when I really sunk my teeth in. I played with decks beforehand in my teens, and I had a little knack for divination, I found. And my grandmother used to call it the gypsy hand. She's got the gypsy hand, which was really funny to me anyway. And I have a knack for divination, for just picking them up really quickly. I wish I had a knack for cooking. I wish I had a knack for cooking, or sewing, or exercise, or eating healthy. I wish I had a knack for those things, but I don't. I have a knack for divination. So that's how it goes. Yeah, so I've been working with it for a really long time.
I'm going to chime in here while I'm drawing this.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're putting a longer time frame because that's not to say that it will be December 2018, but I think you guys would be you'd be happier if you get the deck sooner than you'd expect, than later than you would expect.
Yeah.
So, and plus you can always come on the, like, we're pretty open about it. So if you keep up on with the Facebook page and on this YouTube channel, you will see where we're at. So, I mean, you're not going to wonder, are we still doing it? Are we not? You know, obviously we're doing it. So,
that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
What's going on? So we're trying to be as open with the process as we can, because like I'm a tarot collector and I'm a tarot reader, and I know what it's like to not get your deck in the mail when you expect it.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer when you're, I mean, I don't get ultra impatient, but if it comes past a time where you think, have they forgotten me? That's a bad feeling, you know, and I've had that feeling myself, and that is because people put really full on, you know, really, what is it, eager, enthusiastic, ambitious is the word that I'm looking for, really ambitious production dates or release dates that they cannot fulfill because they don't take into factor the time. And so I have tried to take into account the time, and I did so because Anna and Ethany and Chris Ann and Pamela Steele and people who have created decks before me have always said to me, allow yourself that time and be very specific on that time, so that when people come and knocking on your door going, where's my deck? You're like, the deck is due for release in December 2018. you know, 2018, December 2018. So I've given myself time. It's my safety buffer zone. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Anyways, but this is an actual dream come true moment for me. I know that might sound silly for people who don't get into tarot as much. I don't even know why I'm saying that, because I'm literally on a chat with a tarot creator and a bunch of tarot enthusiasts. I understand that people don't have the same hopes and dreams as I do, but planning a tarot deck, designing a tarot deck, after, you know, I own a lot of decks. I always say it's very high number, higher than probably most people will know, but I'm not one of those people like, I got this many decks, because quite frankly, it's not about the numbers, it's about the collection. So I've got a really yummy collection of self-published, mass-produced, out of print, coming into print decks, and I've had a look at each and every one. I've used each and every one. I have experience with each and every one. I'm a professional reader. This is what I do for a living. So to be able to put a deck out there for others to use, others who are like me, who have,
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Do what you got to do. It's like a big deal for me. It's a huge deal. Colin's live, 60 decks here. What's 60 decks here? I'm just going to keep an eye on the listings as well to just figure out how many are left. Oh no, I don't look at it that way, do I? I can't figure out Etsy sometimes. They make everything, they've made it harder for me in some regards. Okay, so I have 8 limited edition in stock left. So that just 8 left of the limited edition. And there might be 9, because I received a message from an individual who said that they purchased the wrong, or they put 2 purchases in by accident, 1 of each, when they really just wanted the, you know, the standard deck. So I'll have a look at reversing that when I get the opportunity to do so. And I'm open for questions if you guys want to ask me anything now, because I'm getting to that point. So if you want questions, my awesome buddies will filter them for me, and please put them in all caps if there's anything else that you want to know. Oh my gosh. I have no clue how many decks I have anymore. Oh, Gypsy Chick. Hi, Gypsy. How you going? How are you? So nice that you're here. Elise, it's so nice that you're here. Tarot Alchemist, it's so nice that you're here. It's so nice that everyone's here, and I've got so much community support. You know, this is a beautiful show of support for me personally, and for Anna as well, because let's face it, we are in fact oohing and ahhing over Anna's artwork. I hope to ooh and ah you over my writing. That is yet to be seen. Okay, that's yet to be seen. What was the hardest part of this journey? Finding a printer. Finding a printer is actually really hard. You know, you've got an idea. You might have artistic skill, and you might have a skilled artist. You know, skilled artist is the second hardest. But finding a printer and doing a budget are the hardest, because you have to factor in for variables that you cannot possibly predict, not even with divination tools. So they were the hardest things. Always got the community.
I have some I got a sketch. Well, I have the sketches to show you. So.
Oh, okay. Also, Matthew Alvarez, will the decks be numbered? I'm assuming you mean like copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, and not the actual cards being numbered. So I can scratch a number on there. It's no biggie. It'd probably be very helpful for me to do so as I'm sending them out. That will be a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I'm going to have some people. I've actually asked my coven if they will come and help me do the packing, and my husband will be helping me do the packing, and anyone else that walks past my house or door on that day will also be helping me do the wrapping and the packing. So
you will need a lot of.
Anna's got some sketches. She's got some sketches.
Okay, so for the Chariot, so I'm talking about a gypsy caravan with a gypsy kind of carrying, leading the horse. So this is, this will be the caravan. It's kind of coming into view, and she's walking. She's leading the caravan and the horse. She'd be dressed in traditional Romani garb. So they have lots of skirts, very colorful skirts. She's braids, and the caravan would be a wooden caravan, and try and bring in some color to it.
Love that so much.
Period, and then there's a single horse. And I'm thinking like the scenery, like the background, to be kind of like a road, like a rough road.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
so.
I think a little bit of rough road in the back there, sort of stony, cobblestoney, even something that's got a bit of texture to the road itself. But I would say sort of like, the way that I don't know other landscapes as well as I know my own, but here when we go bush, it's a rough road, and you've got like spindly grass on either side of that rough road. You got a little weedy looking flower here and there, little different varieties, but it's a rough, rocky road.
Let's see, Little and Fab asked, how can I do it so quick? Well, because it's very rough. Like if I zoom in, if I bring it really close, you can see that there's not a lot of detail on the hands. The face is general, so it's like the details will come in at the second stage. So right now it's like you get like a general.
And plus Anna's amazing. So I have the best artist in the world. No one can have her now. She's all mine.
Bless you. Okay, so then the sun card. So I have it like pull the ribbons. Everybody's dancing around the maple. So I did it like you can have the maple, like you can see them dancing. They're going in the direction, and the sun rays are being transformed into the ribbons. So
yes.
And you can have the maple, the pole itself in the middle. Now, but I was thinking like not to make it too stand out, like we can have it the outline of the maple, but since it is the sun card, like we had the moon that was standing out in the moon card, the sun should stand out too, so that there will be a like predominantly like the sun, bright sun, and the rays and colorful kind of dance.
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I like it a lot. That's perfect. That's actually better than what I saw in my head. Yay.
So that's it. This is it. I'm done. My work is done with the tarot, with a Major Arcana.
Yay, majors are done. Locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. Hang on, I'm going to beat the drum for the majors done. I feel like this is one of those moments. This is my friend Erin's drum. Majors done. Majors done. Majors done.
So next, I mean these are done. So these are the two cards that are done.
Yep.
And the next step would be I'll paint them, transfer them, paint them. And now we go to the minors. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, now we go to the minors. That's correct. For the minors, we would like to ask you which of the minors will you like us to see? Would you like to see? Would you like us to do? I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. Which of the minors would you like us to begin with? I'm talking the suit, the elemental aspect. So do you want us to start with cups, water? Do you want us to start with wands, fire, swords, air, or pentacles, earth? which do you want? Oh, we got swords, 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 wands, 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 wands. That's gypsy. Does if a person says it more than once, does that count for more? Gypsy, you're losing. You're losing. Swords, wands, swords. Ooh, air, air. I think we've locked it in. It's gonna be air. It's gotta be air.
Swords. I love swords. Swords is my favorite.
My favorite today. Oh my god.
I'm a little masochist there, you know. It's like
I love it. I love it. I remember once when I was very early reading, I thought the swords are the most difficult. And now that I'm older, the swords are for me the easiest suit to read. If anything, my shadow element, being that of water, is a little bit more like
swords it is.
Swords
we have the swords done. So let's start with the ace, because I think that the ace is the one that's gonna kind of kick it.
Yeah.
Start with the ace.
I would like the ace to be a single, brilliantly perfect, amazing feather. You know, bursting with color, bursting with even if it's a peacock feather, maybe a peacock feather. What's the most beautiful feather?
Well, peacock feather is very pretty.
I'm Googling the most beautiful feather. Most beautiful feather. Oh. Fancy tail feathers. 15 spectacularly fancy tail feathers. No. That's not fancy.
Peacock's coming up.
Gosh, there's some really cool looking birds.
I like the one with the red and the white, but then there's one that in the Google search, I don't know what it is. There's one that came out like red and white. And the other thing is, like, you want to be careful, because if you put a feather that's really red, it's going to allude to just the color itself is going to allude to wands. So you don't want
right. We could do a Lyra bird.
A what?
A Lyra bird.
Lara? L-A-R-A?
Oh, Lyra, yeah. Or a turquoise brown mot. I'm not making these names up. I swear.
Colleen is saying McLean is saying condor. I don't even know what a condor feather looks like.
Peacock is the most beautiful though, isn't it? It's just got so much sort of color to it. Well, we could add some non-realistic elements. You know, we could add something pretty spectacular to it. You know, there's a little artistic license.
I have an idea. So you know how you like to put runes and symbols inside?
I do. I fancy a little runic wonder. Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Well, okay, so you know how the peacock has the circle?
Yeah.
Well, what if you create your own feather?
Out of runes?
Well, no, just have the feather, but you know, the symbol of you have the peacock eye, just embed whatever symbol within the feather. So the feather will be particular to air. So it'll be the feather of air.
Interesting. What about just the elemental depiction, like the triangle?
That could work. But it would be like, you know, like it'll be inside, like a pattern in the feather. So it'd be like one symbol on the feather.
Yes. Okay, I think we can get creative with that. We'll have to get really creative with that. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to sit down and look at some symbols, because then the symbol becomes the hardest part to decide. You can't really move with the image until you've got the symbol.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the feather could be, you could figure out how you want to put the feather. Like, do you want the feather to take up the whole space of the card, so it'll be like a zoom in of the feather, or do you want the feather to be a small feather that's kind of falling gracefully from the top.
So I think a light as air feather would be ideal. So something that's like, so you can actually see the feather, but it's not like sitting, it's not upright, it's not on the side. It's something that's in a little bit in motion.
Okay,
so if you were
like
holding
a falling.
a sword, you wouldn't hold a sword like this, and you probably wouldn't hold it like that. You might hold it down, but you would mostly hold it up, right? So it would be out in front of you. So I kind of want that.
So like a falling feather, like a feather that's
like
kind
a little falling feather. So something very light as air, because the idea with the aces is, of course, they are the seed. They are the quintessence of the elements in which they represent. I say this all the time because, one, quintessence is my favorite word. And the seed is the most accurate description, in my humble opinion, of the aces. They are the thought, the feeling, the emotion behind the action. And after that, everything follows. So they are the literal representation of those elements. And they have to be done so in its purest form, in my opinion.
Okay. Just drawing a feather.
Are you getting your sketch on?
I'm drawing a feather in motion. Yes, that's why I went quiet. I went dormant. My brain shuts down a little bit. So like I'm gonna draw 2 different motions of the feather, like one, and then we can pick one.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where this
way.
Okay, I'm just issuing a refund while we're doing
just
this.
remember that whenever you're doing a refund, the deck that they bought and they're refunding, you're going to have to relist. So,
okay.
You know.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. I didn't realize that.
Then it'll be like you're left with you'll think you only have, that everything's sold out, when in fact they didn't all sell out because you got a refund. So then you can relist with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Okay. Look, I'm going to look for a peacock feather too.
There's some actual beautiful ones. I was typing in sacred feathers, and if you look into sacred feathers, there's actually some really nice sacred feathers. But of course, you can't go beyond the peacock. It is perhaps the most beautiful feather, just for its striking, appearance.
The colors,
like,
yeah.
What do you guys think? Like,
well,
it's one of those.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can use the peacock feather as a template, and then put your own symbol in it with those colors.
Ah, understood. I'm a bit confused on a question here. Oh, okay. Please cancel my first order for the LE, as that was a mistake. I can't see. There's only one order. I need to go and have a look at this. Oh, damn. I can't figure this out. I'm stuck and I can't figure this out. Oh my gosh. This is so full on right now at my end, guys. Very full on. Yes. All right. I'm just going to have to really participate at
Okay. So, all right, let me show you some feathers. So these are like different feathers, falling feathers. So it would be like one of these, not both of them. One is, you can see the one side, so you can have them like at different angles.
I like that one.
Like, you can have it facing you. Like, this one's more facing you. This one's.
I like the one that's falling down, because you can see it. You can see more of it.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
This one, and then this is the peacock feather. So if you had the feather, big feather, and then within here you would put whatever symbol you wanted. Then you could color it in the peacock feather style and then just have the symbol of air.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I just got to find a nice symbol for air. Air is perhaps one of those elements that, because of its non-visual aspect, is a little harder to represent unless you're using the elemental descriptions, or even like the what do you call it? The chemical representations. So I'll have to have a look at that. But we'll have to have a little work on that. But I like the first feather, definitely. First feather, lock it in. I like the peacock feather because there's also an element of watchfulness, and for me that's part of the essence of air, is that watchful, analytical, observational, contemplative, thoughtful kind of energy. So see how I did that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it could also end up being like a round sigil that sits perfectly into that circle as well, and we could create a sigil for air, a bonestone sigil for air, something specifically created. Oh yeah, Southern Cross Heathen. Hey Donna, how you going? Yeah, we'll definitely work into that, but colouring will be there. And so we're starting with the suit of air. We're starting with the swords.
Yes.
Yay! All right, guys, we have been on here for a very long time. We started a little bit later, and for that I do apologize. But yes, we are going to be going. For those who have written me messages and who are asking me questions, I will now be able to focus on that. I'm going to have lunch first, and then I'm going to focus on that.
Elise brought back food. Did you bring back food for everybody, Elise? We all want some. What do you have?
I feel like gnocchi with a side of beer. That's what I feel like. Potato and carbs, like carbs and carbs, starch and carbs, the good stuff. All right, folks. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions? I would like to reveal something a little bit too. My card draw for today was the Lovers, the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Three of Cups. So I thought that was a very good omen as a reading. I did that early this morning, or maybe it was late last night. I did that late last night, and they've been laying out here, sort of just holding space for me. So yes, all right. So why are you so amazing? Because I have really lovely friends and support. That's why I'm amazing. That's why I'm amazing. And I have Anna, and she's quite as amazing as I am, and she brings the amazement. So we are going to be working on the suit of swords. This also means conceptualizing the theme that runs through it. Okay, so we're going to have to do some intellectualizing behind the scenes at a later date, because we have been on now for quite some time. So can you put the
thanks
link?
to Alora and Chase.
Thank you. Oh yes, my moderators Alora and Chase have been holding space in the chat in a digital sense, keeping all the good stuff, you know, sorted, and answering some questions where they could, which was a tremendous help, because my God, there must be thousands of comments on here. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty full on. So big thank you to all of our dedicated Bonestone enthusiasts, members of our beautiful group and on Facebook, and all of our friends and all of those who have chosen to support this project as of today, its launch date. So we had some fantastic numbers. I know that people are at work. I know that they're in transit. I know that they couldn't make it. So lots of people have been saying to me that they look forward to seeing the playback of it. And so it's been absolutely wonderful. So with all of that said and done, I'm going to say goodbye now, and I'm going to bang my drum one more time. I'm going to bang my friend's drum. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank
Much
you.
love. Many blessings. Anna, would you like to say your goodbyes?
Bye. I will
We
be
will
posting.
speak to you soon. Again, look out on. Sorry, we'll look out on the Bonestone and Earthflesh. I cut you off, Anna. I'm so sorry.
I was just gonna say,
Bonestone and Earthflesh.
You cut me off again.
I'll stop talking now. You say your goodbye. I'll say nothing.
I was gonna say that I'm gonna post the cards on the Facebook page soon, so they'll be in template format, and they can get a look at it and see how they will be.
That's exactly right, and that's probably why I was saying at the same time, go and look at the cards on the Facebook page. We had the exact same conversation going on. All right, thanks again, guys. Chat to you soon. Look after yourself.